Check that bad boy out. He just blew up on it. So the key is, if you can throw this when it lands and not get grass on it, you can get you one of these fat guys out here. Man, he blew up on that thing. I thought he missed it, but he, oh, and he just hooked me really, really good. All right, the hook's out of him, but there's two of them in my hand now. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for clicking on the video this week. Today I'm starting the video in the garage because I kind of want to go over what this video is going to be about. Hopefully the thumbnail that you just clicked had something to do with rooftop tent camping versus ground tent camping. And because that is what I want to make this video about today, we're getting ready to head to Guntersville State Park, or outside of Guntersville State Park, to do some tent camping. But as you can see, let me show you my truck. There is no rooftop tent on my truck. That is because we are going to be ground tent camping. A quick backstory: over the past 3 or 4 years, and if you follow the channel, you know, I have tested and reviewed a ton of different rooftop tents, from the soft tops, the clamshells, the small ones, the big ones, and there's a lot of them that I really like, and there's some of them that I didn't like. But a few weeks back, we went camping with my cousin, and he had one of these, that big orange thing right there. That is a gazelle tent that I picked up off of Amazon. It's not a sponsored video, so this is going to be a fair review. I'm going to give you my honest opinions on it. But anyway, while we were camping with them, my wife loved their tent, and at the time we were sleeping in our little Benny Hike, you know, really nice tent on the back of the truck. But she loved their ground tent, and we looked it up. It was only 350 bucks on Amazon, so we bought it. And today's video, we're going to kind of do a comparison, since we've got all this experience over the past few years with these rooftop tents, what we like about them, what we don't like about them. We're going to go out and set this up, camp for 2 days or 3 days, 2 nights in this tent out at the state park. Bringing the kayak with me. We are going to do some kayak fishing while we're there. I might film another video while we're there on doing a little kayak fishing. I might even try to hook up with Chad Hoover if he's out. I've got to get with him and see if he's going to be out there this weekend. But yeah, we're fixing to go camping. I just kind of wanted to go over what this video is going to be about. This tent is really cool, and there's a lot of pros and cons to rooftop tent camping, and there's also a lot of pros and cons to ground tent camping. And I feel like people have forgotten how nice it is to ground tent sometimes versus rooftop tent camping, because we kind of fell in love with their tent when we were out a few weeks ago, that gazelle tent, and I think we may like this better than rooftop tent camping. I don't know, but I'll go over the pros and cons. We're going to head to the river right now, get camp set up, and then I'll walk you around the camp setup and kind of go over what I'm talking about. I'm also going to be bringing my my tent air conditioner unit that everybody always asks about. So I'll go over that later in the video as well. All right, y'all, we have made it. This place is beautiful. We love coming out here. And since we got here early on a Thursday, we kind of got first pickings. And if you look behind us, this is all primitive camping, but you see how the bank kind of weaves in and out. And there's really good spots, and then there's some spots that they're not that great. And if you get here earlier in the week like this, before the crowd gets here, you get to pick some good spots. I think we got a good spot. See the trees we got? We're gonna be able to hang hammocks. And that's another thing. Years ago, I think it was like 2011 or 13.
It was 11 actually.
When the tornadoes hit. Well, the tornadoes kind of wiped out all of the big trees. So on that end, there's not really any trees for shade or hammocks yet, because they're all real small. But back here, some of these bigger pines are still standing right by the bank. So we're gonna have a nice little place to camp, have some shade. And if you're curious, the spot that we got is TC 25 and 24. We're gonna get both spots. But now everything seemed to have made it really good. The trailer, this trailer I built does great hauling this kayak. It's about a little over an hour from the house, and everything made it good. So we're gonna start unpacking and setting up, and I'll show you guys the setup. All right, so this is our tent setup for the week. And Yes, I know that if we were sleeping in the rooftop tent, that I could just pop it open in a matter of 60 seconds and have the tent set up. This does take a little bit longer, but I did time it in the garage, and it took like 5 minutes to fully set up. I'm gonna set it up really fast with you guys right here. I'm not gonna time lapse it or anything like that. I'm just gonna normally go at normal speed and show you how quick these new tents pop up. This is a really nice tent, and I'm glad I found it on Amazon. And it's a beautiful spot right here to set it up. A beautiful spot, Carl. So the tent comes with a rain fly that we'll put on after we pop the tent up. And the actual tent with the bottom. I'll set the stakes inside. And I believe it's just got the one strap. All I'm doing is grabbing these handles, pulling out, popping the sides up. I am going to spin it so the door's facing the river, so we can get in and out, have a nice view. Just like that. Now, before I pop the top, I'm going to put the rain fly on. Let me spin it. It does have two doors, one in the back, one in the front. One downfall for a ground tent is you do have to find a nice flat area. Less roots the best, but we found a good little spot here. But a pro for these ground tents is if I want to go put my boat in or go to the store in my truck, I don't have to close a tent up and worry about unpacking or repacking, you know. All right, now I'm going to grab the rain fly. Rain fly's got these little poles that attach to the tent poles right here. After you do that, I think these hook straight. I think they'll just hook down here, right? Yeah, just like that. After you get it where you want it, get the rain fly on, I'm going to step in and pop the top up. Just like that. We're basically set up. I am going to pull it out and stake it down, but come show them the inside. And once we're set up, I'll take you guys in there and show you how the setup is. Ton of room. Let me stand in there and show them. It's got this little thing here that you can hang a light, whatever. All of these windows do open, so there's nice screen windows and vents all the way around. For 350 bucks, this is nice. I will link this tent in the video description below. If you guys are interested, I did get it on Amazon, like I mentioned. All right, camp is set up, and I have broken a sweat, so is my wife, but everything's set up. Let me show you the full setup, and then we've got to walk way over here to get my kayak. It's actually, I can see it from here, but don't think y'all will be able to see it. I got it in the water way down there. It was the only place that I could find without all these riprap and all these big boulders on the water. So I slid it in over there, brought the trailer back. We got the trailer off, the gazebo set up. Let me turn the camera around. I'm gonna show you how we set up camp using a gazebo, a hammock, and this regular ground tent, which this tent is freaking awesome. First of all, look at this spot. That is beautiful Lake Guntersville. And I love camping here because there's a nice break. These mountains right here break everything. The state park is actually right over the other side of that. That is the golf course you're looking at. Well, it's through the trees, but the golf course is right on top of that mountain there. And then there's beautiful Lake Guntersville. Nice little slough. And there's a store and a bridge on this end down here. Now, our last video where we did the catch and cook, we camped on that point. And this is the first time we've been able to get this point. But here's our setup. We got some big old beautiful trees. Nice shade right here. There are a lot of ants, and I just standing in one as I was fixing to say ants. We got some firewood. I had to buy it because I forgot to pack it. Here is our setup. So the wife's over here reclining in the chairs. Say hey, wife.
Hey, wife.
Got the hammock here. Here's our little kitchen area. Check out the little setup we got. And that's the only thing about that hitch fire grill. I couldn't bring it because I was towing a trailer. I could have taken it apart and brought it separate, but it's easier just to cook on one of these little 2-burner Coleman's. We're just staying a few nights. Got our fridge in here. It should be slap full of food because we're going to be here for a few days. I got it running off the Peck Run. If you come out here, look at that view. And our tent is right here. And I love how these doors open. So first of all, they don't waste one whole wall on an opening like a regular tent. As you can see, they've got the door right in the corner. So you still got that whole wall on the inside. They've got another door I've got open over there. Check it out. Jesse's in here. Look, that is 2 cot size mattresses. Those things are super comfortable. I'll link those in the video description. If y'all sleep in a ground tent like this, you want one of those cots. They're all, not a cot, it's a cot pad, but we got 2 of them. And then we got a little blanket laid out. You're gonna get too hot in here. You need to get out. And over there is our AC. We'll kick it on later on this evening. Look how much room is in here. Got our bags. You can walk around in here. You can change clothes. You can stand up. All the windows zip open. As you can see, it's a nice opened up breeze. We've even got a fan hanging on the wall over there. But I need to head on over there and get my kayak. The plan is I've got the kayak in the water. I'm gonna take it over here and I'm just gonna leave it in the water. It ain't gonna hurt anything. I'll just tie it up to one of these rocks for the next few days and I should be able to just walk right here, hop in the kayak and go fishing. Let's walk on over here and get the kayak. I've got my ride or die with me. Carly, you gonna ride in the boat? If you're coming over here with me to get this kayak, you're gonna have to ride in the kayak with me on the way back. She's coming, so this should be interesting. I got it beached way over there. And there she goes. All right, let's see how she does in this kayak. I made it over here to the kayak. And I couldn't back in. I probably could have backed the trailer in, but I didn't want to do anything I wasn't supposed to do. So I pulled it up right here beside the bank. See how it's a little bit more tapered here? No, there's no rocks here. And I just got I put the boondocks on. I hadn't put them on here in a long time, but I figured I'd need them this weekend. And I was right because I was able to pull the trailer right here. I put the boondocks down, unloaded it, and rolled it right into the water. All right, she's floating. How you doing, Carl? You panting. All this water to drink and you over here panting. Let me see if I can get in here with you. We're in here together, Carl. We made it in. I've got to go to the campsite because I've got my NK300 over there. I didn't want to leave it hooked up when I had to do all that pushing it in from the bank. But right now I'm just running this Xi3. I got it deployed on the front. What do you think? You not been out here in a kayak? I gotta wipe my feet. Look, I still got socks on. That water feels good out here though. This is a beautiful place, y'all. If you ever get into Northeast Alabama and you can do some camping, Guntersville is the place to go. There's our campsite way over there. All right, just had some banana sandwiches and they were good. I love eating out here when you're camping next to the water, especially some good old sandwiches. There ain't nothing like having a good old cold sandwich out here next to the water. I know some of you guys are like, oh, cold sandwich, but I grew up eating them when we camped, and it kind of, you got to stick with what you know, and eating a cold sandwich out here while you're next to the bank when you're camping is great. But we'll be cooking tonight. Look how beautiful that view is. I mean, we were right here on the water. I love this place. But I wanted to pull the camera back out and do some filming for you guys really quick. We will be going and fishing later on. I might try to throw some good fishing content in the same video for you guys. But a lot of you ask and reach out to me about my tent, my portable, not my tent, my portable tent AC that I've got that I used in my rooftop tents. I brought it with me this weekend and we use it at night just to kind of cool the tents down and get it nice, you know, comfortable. We like to sleep comfortable when we're camping. But I'm gonna turn the camera around really quick. I'm gonna turn it on, show you the specs of it. I'm gonna have it linked in the video description below. So if you're interested in one of these tents or one of these ACs, I keep saying tents, one of these tent or camper AC units, I'll have it linked below, and I've got a discount code for it too. So let me show you my setup, how I like to set it up, and then we're gonna get out here and look for some fish. Come on in. Welcome to Cribs. This is my bed area. We've got our closet area over here. Over here is where we're gonna be cooling off the tent. This is the Zero Breeze Mark II, and this has got the battery pack included. You can charge up the battery bank and hook it to it, and you don't have to have power. And this is a portable air conditioning unit. And when you get it, it's gonna come with different attachments and different tubes and hoses, so you can run the vent out to be able to pump fresh air from outside in, and it cools it. You don't want to circulate, you know, the same air constantly. So, and it goes, I mean, it's really simple to use this thing. So I'm just gonna pop it together really quick and show you. I believe, which way does this go? That clicks like that. One of these is the intake. It's gonna bring the air in, and one of them is the outtake. It's gonna pump exhaust air out. You wanna kind of run both of these out your tent or your camper or wherever you're running this. This up here is where the cold air blows out. So what we'll do is we'll turn the bank on, the little power bank that's attached to it at the bottom. There it is. When you turn it on, you see the blue lights. Can you see them on that screen?
I saw them. I don't know.
So you can come in a little closer on this if you want to. It's got the blue lights here. And now I'm gonna turn the power on to the unit. And this is the fan blower right here. And up on top, you can choose turbo. I think it's on turbo cold right now. So we're gonna bump it all the way up. And it gives you the temperature of the room. What I'm gonna do is
go lower.
Let me move this over here. I'm gonna set this up in this tent so that we can pull the air outside right here. That's sucking in. That's blowing out. Zip them shut a little bit. And just like that, we've got an AC unit pumping in our tent. Now, I'm not gonna run it right now because it's daytime and we're not gonna be in the tent anyway. We're just gonna keep the windows open. But tonight, we're gonna zip this tent shut and turn this AC on before we get in here, and it should cool this tent down pretty good. We've been able to get the tent down to, when it's 90 degrees outside, we could get the tent down to in the mid 60s, which is great for sleeping. We usually sleep at home at what, like 66?
64.
64. We sleep pretty cold at home all year round, but this thing is awesome. It's the Zero Breeze Mark II. I've got an Amazon link and a link straight from them. If you use my link that is straight from Zero Breeze in the video description below, you can also use that promo code and save you, I don't know how much the discount is. It'll be next to it. I can't remember right now, but check it out. It's awesome. We're gonna test it out in this tent. We usually use this in the rooftop tents, but tonight we're gonna test it out in this tent. We may lose a lot of air, and I was just thinking about it because this gazelle is net at the top and it's got the rain fly that covers it. So we might lose a little bit of cool, but it's gonna run all night. And then you can recharge this battery bank. I'm gonna use my Pecron to do that. We should be able to keep this tent cool for the next 3 nights at least with this thing, I think. I'm gonna cut it off. All right, but that's it. Just wanted to share it with you. I know you guys ask a lot. Let me stand up in this tent. Can you see how tall it is?
Yeah.
I'm standing on our beds. These are these pads that I was telling you guys about. They're awesome. And they're the same size as a cot. So we're thinking about getting 2 cots to put in here. But what's really cool is we can come in here and change clothes. That's the downfall with a rooftop tent is when you got the rooftop tent, if you want to take your trucks to the store, you know, if you need to go somewhere, you got to pack your rooftop tent up. Or if you need to go change, you really can't. You can change in a rooftop tent, or I can, but it was really complicated for, you know, my wife to climb up into a rooftop tent, a clamshell tent, and change and get dressed in there when she can just come in a tent like this and be able to walk around and do it. This is really nice. We're gonna see how it sleeps tonight, but I think it's gonna be a really cool tent. All right, let's go fish. All right, I gotta do this in my dry shoes because I don't want to get these shoes wet. We did it. I don't know if I'll be able to get back up there and keep my shoes dry, but they're dry for now. This is the, I think it's the Pearl White Berkeley Chopo 90. And I like these a lot. I like the Chopos, but I feel like I can keep the Whopper Ploppers on top a little bit better. And I'm not sure why. Where's the Whopper Plopper? I think I got one in here. Yeah, I can show you right here. So the difference in the Chopo and the Whopper Plopper isn't much, but I feel like I can keep it up. So this is the Whopper Plopper, and this is the Chopo. And they look really, really similar. But I feel like I can keep this one on the top of the water easier than I can this one. We'll go ahead and tie on the Whopper Plopper though. Ow, hooked myself. Alright, this is the Whopper Plopper, frog color. Let's see if we can get one of these Gunnersville Giants to hit this thing over by this grass patch. As long as I can stay out of the floating grass with it. Yeah, the Whopper Plopper for some reason stays up so much easier. There he is. Did he get it? I got him. Oh yeah. I thought he missed it. Oh, yes, sir. I don't got my net. Oh, this is a good one, guys. This one's, oh my goodness. Get up here, boy. Get up here, get up here, get up here. I don't have my net with me. Oh, he's barely hooked. Get in the boat. Oh, oh yeah. Look at that. Oh, calm down, calm down, calm down. Don't hurt yourself. Let me get you unhooked. Oh, you done hooked my... Hold on now, you're tearing stuff up. Ah, don't you get me. Woo, look at there, guys. Did it get the camera wet? Let me clean y'all off. Check that bad boy out. He just blew up on it. So the key is, if you can throw this when it lands and not get grass on it, you can get you one of these fat guys out here. Man, he blew up on that thing. I thought he missed it, but he... Ah, and he just hooked me really, really good. All right, the hook's out of him, but there's 2 of them in my hand now. Dang it. That ain't good, guys. All right, so I'm gonna have to let him go and then figure out how to get this hook out of my hand. God almighty. Well, that sucks. That might have ended my trip today, but check him out. That's a big one. You messed me up, buddy. I hate that. All right, I gotta go get this hook out. Oh man, it went all the way through on that other side. Dang it. I wish we could have looked at him some more, but I gotta go get this hook out of my hand. Dang it. God almighty. Well, guys, we got to get back to camp. I can't get that out right here. I don't have my pliers with me. Dang it. Oh, look at that one right there. Good Lord, that was a 10-pounder right there. Holy crap. Oh, I got to get this hook out of my hand. Man, they are blowing up out here. Now I have to go back over there and get a freaking hook out of my hand. All right, guys. Probably the last thing that you guys just watched, hopefully. I haven't checked the footage yet, but caught that really nice bass. And then there was a huge one. I'm telling you, there was the bass that was hitting beside me. I seen him twice, and he was at least 10 pounds. At least 10 pounds. And the one we caught was a good 3, at least 3 pounds. But you also saw that bass jumped and stuck that whopper plopper deep into my hand. At first, I thought that it just barely got me, but I looked at it after I turned the camera off and realized that both prongs, instead of kind of threading, they went just straight in. And I had to come back over here. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of wrapped right now, but we don't have the first aid kit. I left it in Trailer Swift because I packed it in there for our last trip, and that kind of screwed us on that. So I had to do the old suck it up and wrap braided line around the back of it. I'm trying not to drop that. See that old braided line there? See how bloody that braided line is? I had to wrap it up around both prongs and snatch it up. And luckily, there's a few YouTube videos that kind of explained how to do it. Really, I mean, there's really nothing to explain. I mean, you wrap the braid around it and you snatch the crap out of it and pull it out of your hand. It wouldn't have been so bad if it was just one of the prongs, but 2 of them went in there and it just ripped coming out. But anyway, I made it back. I just turned around and turned the NK300 on high and zipped over here because I also am known for passing out when I get a tattoo, give blood. If you're watching this and you know me personally, you know that I have passed out on the blood donation bus before. I did it in boot camp when I was in the Army. Anytime I've given blood, and I don't know why. And then when I get tattoos, like I've got a ton of tattoos, but every time I get a tattoo, after the artist starts and goes for about 5 minutes, my adrenaline drops and we have to stop because I will pass out. But after it goes away, I'm fine. Like I had to come back over here and lay down. And then once my adrenaline got back to normal, I was able to wrap the braid around and snatch it out. But anyway, we're gonna be good. I'm gonna get a fire going. Beth had to jump in the truck. She's going to Dollar General to get some she's gonna get some stuff to clean up my hand because I don't want it to get infected. That was my main concern. Man, look at that sunset behind me. Holy crap. Look at that. Anyway, I don't want this to get infected, but I also don't want to leave. I mean, we just got here. I felt like I almost ruined the trip back there, but man, that sunset looks way better on the phone. Holy cow. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up, gonna get it cleaned up. Probably not gonna film a whole lot more tonight, but I am gonna try to get up early and get back over there because there was a lot of bass blowing up on that little grass patch that I was just at. And I think they'll be over there in the morning too at sunup. So if get up early, eat some breakfast and get over there right at sunrise, I think we can put some big old bass in the boat. I've got to get my kayak, slid further up, and then I'm gonna hopefully get this hand patched up tonight. I don't think it's gonna need stitches because it was just punctured, you know, but I'm gonna get it cleaned up, gonna get it wrapped up, and hopefully my hand doesn't rot off because I do not want to go home. We've got 3 days left here and I don't want to ruin it on the very first night. So I will see you guys bright and early in the morning. Well, good morning, y'all. It is, wow, my glasses are fogged up. It is about 6 a.m. The smoke just rised off the water. You can still see it behind me there a little bit. And I was kind of hoping to be out there a little bit earlier, but I stuck my head out of the tent and it was super foggy on the water, and I didn't want to be out there in a kayak because there were a lot of boats running up and down right here in this little channel. But before I get my coffee this morning, I think they're still popping out here. I'm watching a lot of schools, either bass or stripe, and they're chasing bait fish all through here behind me. And I'm gonna go out there, cross back over. Hopefully we don't end up with another hook in our hand. And I'm gonna go hit that grass patch where I caught that one last night. And I seen that giant. I mean, that had to be a 10-pounder out there. All right, we got some nice calm water for now. I've been seeing a few blow-ups right out here already this morning, but we're gonna go straight up. There's some right there. They're getting chased right beside me. Golly. They're pushing bait fish through this little slough. But I want to see if his big boy's still over here. I'm seeing some little splashes, but I think there's probably carp over here too. I think I'm gonna try to attack that grass the same direction as yesterday. Instead of coming straight in on it from the deep, I'm gonna come up this bank. Well, no luck on the kayak this morning. The sun is officially up. Top water bite is over with, but it's also breakfast time. I came back across here to see what she had going on. What you got in the kitchen here?
Some wings and some eggs.
Yeah. It's gonna be good. I love that little Vivor kitchen set we got. It's got little screens, they zip down in front of it. I'll link it below. We got that off Amazon, it's pretty neat. And it's got a special spot just for your stove. I don't know if we should be cooking in here, but I don't think it's hurting anything. That's all screens behind it. She's got the wind blocks on this side. There's Carlito over here hanging out, and Jesse's getting some sun. What are you doing, Shug? The AC unit last night did good for a while, but we had it on high for too long and we ran the battery dead halfway through the night. So we got to charge it today. But this tent probably isn't the best tent if you want to run an AC unit. And I only say that, I love the tent, but I only say it because if you see the roof is a screen roof, and this rain fly goes over the screen roof. So if this rain fly, which has a big air gap under it, see the air gap here? Well, if you've seen me put it together at the beginning of the video, but that screen, if this rain fly wasn't on here, that screen is just open, you know, to the sky. It's just a bug net up there. And I think we just lost so much of the cold air. I mean, it did cool down pretty good last night. It was in the 60s, so. It was great as long as it was going. Yeah, when it was running, it was good. So we're gonna hook it up and get it charged up today off the Peck Run, hopefully. Get it back fully charged. And then we're gonna get some breakfast in us, kind of hang out. It's beautiful out here, I absolutely love it. It's not as cloudy as it was yesterday. The sky is clear, so fishing probably won't be great. We're probably just gonna hang around here, walk the dogs, relax. I love hanging out here and just sitting by the water, drinking coffee, eating some good food, and just hanging out. I have been walking up and down this bank, throwing a jig and a worm around for the past hour or so, but I really need to be on the other side of the lake if I want to catch anything decent. There's guys over there fishing the spot that I was fishing. There they are. Right there's the grass patch where we caught that one last night. And then we are camped directly across from it. Way over here. We had some breakfast this morning, been hanging out by the water. Look, Beth's in the hammock with the girls. I've actually been in the hammock for the last probably an hour. And usually I wouldn't go out in the middle of the day, but I got some good rest in, so I'm gonna go drop a jig off on that bluff over there. That whole bluff wall has got some good rocks at the bottom of it, and in the heat of the day it gets, you know, there's some deep holes down there. We might be able to drag a jig around and see if we can catch something, but either way, be nice to be out on the water. Look how pretty it is out there. This place is amazing. The tent has done great. I don't even know if I've updated you guys in this video about the tent, but the tent's done really good. Like, she got up this morning, we cleaned it out. The dogs did track a little bit of dirt in there, but that's a good thing about it being so big that like we can just walk in there and sweep it out like a rooftop tent. Don't get me wrong, I still love my rooftop tents, and there's certain situations where they are better than the ground tent, but for situations like this, she's already been to the store twice. Like yesterday when I got the hook in my hand, she had to run to Dollar General to get some stuff to clean my hand and get it fixed up. And if we'd have been in a rooftop tent, that would have been a hassle. We'd have to shut everything down, close the awning. Like it would have taken way longer. She was able to hop in the truck and run straight to Dollar General and get what I needed. But anyway, let's get out here, do a little bit of fishing. I got the GoPro on. I'll do a little bit of filming. I don't want to say we're not going to catch anything, but it's the middle of the day. Odds aren't great. Bluebird sky, we got like a couple of clouds that just showed up, but not many, not enough to make a difference. But being on the water is nice anyway. Let's go fishing. Man, there's a lot of people showed up over there. Look at that. And that's where we usually camp. Look how many tents are out there. That's a family right there. Good Lord. I'm glad we come on down this time. Imagine if we were stuck right there and all those people showed up beside us. That would have sucked. You can kind of see we're out here by ourselves. I hope it stays that way. Oh, I got one. I don't know if the GoPro's gonna keep recording or not. It keeps dying on me. I was walking a dog out through there and he hit it on the paws. It's not a bad one. It's not as big as last night, but he'll do. Now I gotta see if I can get him out without getting hooked. All right, brother, you gonna hang tight right there because I'm gun shy. To say the least, I'm gun shy. Don't even think about it, homie. All right, GoPro's acting up on me. I don't know if it recorded me catching it or not, but I wanted to get some evidence. I'm not gun shy anymore. I was able to unhook this one without burying treble hooks into my hand and hit it on the top water. I've got the old walking the dog. Let me let him go really quick. Ooh. I was kind of worried though when I was taking the hook out, but he popped it on this bad boy right here, just walking the dog. I'm gonna change the GoPro battery. Hopefully y'all are getting to see what I'm filming right now because they're feeding right here. I've actually floated in a little bit too close, but they're feeding right over this grass. Top water, awesome bite, my favorite thing to fish. Let me change this GoPro battery and hopefully get some footage for you guys. All right, good morning, guys. It is day 3, and I think our last day here. It got pretty crowded here last night. I don't want to talk too loud because it's still really early. It's a little after 6 in the morning, but people started rolling in and setting up. I'm trying to get to where that sun is not just destroying the camera. There's a tree. So people started coming in last night around 10 o'clock and setting up camp. And it kind of blew my mind how many people were coming in and sleeping in a ground tent. A big old fish just blew up right beside me. Sleeping in a ground tent, the lights just constantly. And what's funny is there's campsites on each side of us. So people would pull up in the middle of the night, shine their lights, get out with a flashlight, check to see if it's a good place to camp. If they didn't like it, they'd sit here and talk about it for about 5 minutes and then move to the next one. And that happened for so long. But we finally got some sleep probably around midnight. And after that, I think it was pretty good. I didn't get woken up anyway, but it's a beautiful day. The sun has come up. I didn't even get up and go fishing this morning. I probably should have. There's still some smoke on the water. It's beautiful out here right now. But what we're probably going to do today, we've got the peck run drained down to about 35%. I just got up and checked it because we did bring a fan and we run it at night, and it's done really good. For 3 days, that peck run has ran a refrigerator, charged phones, it's done a lot, and we haven't hooked up any solar panels to it. It's just been chugging along, and I checked it this morning. This is day 3. It's got 35% left, and the fan's running, the fridge is running. I've been charging the iPad, the computers, everything off of it, so it's doing really good. But I think we're just gonna we're gonna eat breakfast this morning, then slowly take our time, clean up camp, and slowly pack up and get ready to head back. But this was a fun one. There is a lot of pros and cons to this ground tent. One I found this morning when we got up, and I was going to talk about it later, but I guess I'll mention it while I'm thinking about it. The bottoms of these gazelle tents are removable. So you can take them out if you damage a bottom. It's got a Velcro all the way around it where you can actually take the bottom off of the gazelle tent and replace it, which is really cool. But we've been feeding the dogs at night in a little cup of, a little bowl of dog food in the tent, in the floor, because out here ants were finding the dog food and getting into it. Well, in there, I woke up this morning to a line of ants across the bottom of the tent floor all the way to the dog food bowl, and the dog food bowl was slap full of ants. With the removable floor being Velcro, the ants were able to find their way. I don't know how they find it, but they found their way through the corner of the tent, made a line straight to the dog food, and made it to the dog food bowl. So we woke up with a whole bunch of ants in the tent. I think I got most of them out this morning, but I guess that's a pro for the removable floor and a con, because ants definitely can get through the bottom down there, and I didn't think they would be able to because it's a tight seal. It's sealed up really good, but ants find a way. I don't even know what's the reason for ants besides the hook in the hand. I think it was a great trip. We had a good time, and we're gonna do another trip soon with Trailer Swift. That sun is just destroying the shot, ain't it? And talk a little bit more in the next video when we do the rooftop tent about pros and cons with these things. But so far, I'm really happy with this. The main reason is because we can take the truck to the store. We can go somewhere in the truck if we need to, and we don't have to worry with closing the tent up. Now, if we're camping up in the mountains somewhere where it's rough, if it might rain, it's good to have that rooftop tent. If you don't plan on leaving and you're in the middle of nowhere, you can pop that tent up really quick and sleep on back of the truck. It's a lot more safe, I think. But for a situation like this where you're going to stay several days, you've got little dogs with you, it's way nicer to have a ground tent like this. And for $350, you can't beat it. So anyway, I think I am going to end the video here. I appreciate you guys watching, following along. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new, hit the subscribe button, and I will catch you guys. Let me finish this shot where I'm not just in the sun. I'll catch you guys next Monday at 6 o'clock.